Good day and welcome to Mike's Diabetes World. Today I want to discuss continuous glucose monitoring. Now, a lot of times people misunderstand and what it can do, what it can't do. Now, continuous glucose monitoring still gives a trend. It can only monitor you from what your blood sugars were in the last 5 minutes. It does every 5 minutes. It allows you, within guidance from your doctor, remember, don't do anything without speaking to your doctor. First, it gives a reading, and you can determine your blood glucose by it. And how does it do this? Well, it does this by reading the subcutaneous fluid. It's not your blood sugar. So there will be some differences between your glucose. And an awful lot of people who first get onto it, kind of sit there and say, oh, well, it doesn't read my blood sugar correctly. But there's close enough that we can determine what course of action you need to take. Now, low blood sugars, the machine isn't as precise. And I know this for a fact, where it said that my blood sugar was below 2.2, when actually it was 3.5 to 4. Where those are still low numbers, they are close enough that you're not calling 911. I need to get the ambulance here. So, yes, there's holes in the walls. That's when I was learning how to drive this thing. But continuous glucose monitors works with your pump. And it determines when your pump should shut off, when you're low. It also determines your basal rates. Well, it will give a guide for your doctors. There are new ones out there now where you don't have to calibrate. The continuous glucose monitoring, you would have to do a sample of blood. I think it says at least twice a day, up to 4 times a day. So why do you have it's called continuous? Well, because it does cut down on an awful lot. It allows you to visually see what's happening to you. A close-up look. But, I don't want you to assume that, oh, well, I've got a pump and I've got the glucose monitoring. I don't have to do anything anymore. I wish that was true, but it isn't. I think the newer pumps now are getting closer to being an artificial pancreas that'll give insulin when you need it and in the dose you need. Now, we're not quite there yet, but I think we need to learn from what we have and work from it. Sorry, itchy head. Now, I've been happy with my pump and my glucose monitoring. And I think once people get onto it and get used to it, they're pretty happy with it as well. Don't just think, oh, well, I'm high, it'll fix itself, because it won't. It still requires some manual input from the user. Now, a lot of the information comes from your diabetic nurse or your diabetic doctor. So it's important to see the doctor on a regular basis. I seem to think so. You want to make sure that you calibrate your pump. On most older pumps, you have to calibrate it twice a day. You want to ensure that your pump is keeping the track of what your blood sugar is as close as possible. It's kind of like calibrating is kind of setting the time on a clock. You need to set it up and you need to check it every day at least to make sure that the correct time is being given. You know, your battery can die. Well, your battery can die in your pump too. Calibrating, yes, you're still going to need to do blood sugars. I know there have been, and I will be truthfully honest, or maybe I need to do it this way, that I have used the information given to me off my pump to determine what dose of insulin I should get right away. Can't always be the greatest. Now, for me, it kind of has helped me stop having such wild blood sugars up and down. I still go high, but they're more of a gentle curve. Before I got it, it was up, I was down. You know, I'd eat and then within 2 hours, I was having an insulin reaction. And of course, eating all the time isn't the best for a diabetic. One, for your weight. The other, for your sugars. If you're constantly eating all the time, you're just going to cause problems all over the board. So, now, what's the plus of continuous glucose monitoring? Well, it allows you to be discreet. A lot of times, if I go into a sit-down restaurant, I will do a test. And then when I get in there, I'll take a look at my glucometer and then give my insulin. This allows me to be a little bit more, subtle about it. I don't have to bring in the glucose strips and everything. Now, you want to be able to tie your glucose to what's been happening. There's pictures of or commercials of glucose monitoring where you take the machine, you put it up against your arm or the sensor in your arm, and then you'll be able to read it. Well, my personal feeling of those, I had mine fall out. I wasn't able to do it, and plus you would still have to take your meter up there. You know, that's not the greatest. I'm having it in my side. I put it in every 7 days, and then I forget about it. The only time I need to worry, one, is if it gets knocked out because I'm roughhousing or whatever, or I hit it and it falls out, then I have to change it. Now, the sensor itself has a battery pack to it, which is also a transmitter. And you have to charge this. Every time you take it off, you have to charge it. And how long does the charging take? Well, about half an hour. And then you're ready to go. Changing it is relatively easy. Doesn't hurt me. I don't think I've heard of people saying, oh, it hurts so bad. I'm sure there's some out there, and if it hurts you, I apologize. But you need to make sure that you're able to do things quickly and ensure that if you're falling, you need to take some or eat something to bring it up. And if you're going high, well, you may need to do a blood sugar to say to your pump, hey, I'm high, I need some insulin. So, have I found the continuous glucose sensor works for me? Yes. It allows my pump to communicate and give me ample amounts of insulin. Now, is the pump for everyone? No, if you're not technologically savvy, and there are pumps, kids are wearing pumps, and there are ways that you can set your pump so that it will automatically do what it's supposed to based on the numbers given. But it won't allow people to fiddle with it, such as a child at school saying, oh, I don't want to do gym, I'll just give myself extra insulin. Or a senior person who, what's this, and starts playing around with it. You need to take control, and this instrument will help you take control. No fuss, just get straight down to it. Now, I can tell you it is rather nice not having to do shots every time I ate. Now I can do shots after I ate. Or not shots, sorry. Give my insulin whenever I want to. I can do it in line waiting for food. I can do it at home while it's cooking. I don't have to have a prescribed time. And that's something to think about. You know, a lot of times, you're out and about and you're going to be late getting home for a meal. Well, with an insulin pump, chances are you're going to be okay because you are given 2 rates. And the continuous glucose monitor allows you to see how well you're doing. So you don't have to necessarily say, oh my God, I've got to rush, I've got to eat. So take a look at many different types of glucose monitoring and see which one works the best for you. There is a cost factor, so if you're not covered by insurance or some other form of payment, then it could be out of the reach for you. But if you're able to work it, it can be a godsend. It's worked for me. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye now.